disclosure, I think I have interacted with Avnis in past. I'm not 100% sure, maybe many years back, but obviously no formal association or connection other than probably knowing him and meeting him in past. I just, now that I've interacted with him, he seems familiar, that I must have met him somewhere.
So, Naveen, knowing will not bring the conflict of
Yeah,
interest until unless you have invested or like
no
maybe
investments,
yeah,
no
yeah,
other,
no
no,
business
no
relationship or
commercial
something.
relationships or
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll get the next set ready, and we have the next presentation from Awidit Systems, Awiros, and we have the presenters with us who will be presenting their innovation. Team Awiros will request to share your screen.
Hi, Tishan. Good evening.
Hi, Isha.
Just a moment. We are screen sharing and we'll be ready to go.
Sure.
Vikram is also joining. If he's in the waiting room, can you please let him in?
Yes, Vikram also joined. Hello, Mr. Vikram. Good evening.
Good evening. Hello, sir. Hello, everyone. Thank you for waiting.
Team Awiros will request to share your screen.
Sure. Just, I hope the screen is visible.
Yes, so the screen is visible. So we have a timer of 10 minutes for the presentation. You can start with your presentation.
Great. Okay. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for giving time and hearing our story. I'm the founder and CEO of Awiros. Awiros is a computer vision platform company. We have been focusing on building an operating system in the form of a platform for a large number of video AI apps in our marketplace. So the idea is that computer vision can solve a lot of industrial and automation problems, but doing that at a scale for multiple applications has always been a challenge. Awiros solves that through its platform layer, which helps in building, deploying, and scaling applications, which at scale which nobody else has been able to do. So we'll go into detail in all of these aspects in the next couple of slides. I hope my audio and screen is all clear for everybody. So I'll continue to progress. Thank you. So computer vision can solve hundreds of independent use cases for industrial, warehousing, public safety, quality, and even operational use cases. So all these use cases that you see on your screen are a variety of problem statements that we have solved for our customers. One on the left is about object counting in a warehouse, how many boxes have been unloaded and how many phones have been taken out of the individual box to make sure that the warehouse inventory is all correct. The second use case is inspection of an aircraft engine when it goes for maintenance or comes back to be placed on a aircraft wing. And the last use case is basically tracking the quality and productivity of workers in a moving assembly line in a two-wheeler manufacturing use case. So this is a factory in Mexico, one of the largest two-wheeler manufacturers in the world, is using our platform for productivity monitoring and operational efficiency within the factories. The challenge, however, is that the computer vision industry in general has been focusing on use cases, but the right way of scaling this is, in our opinion, a distributed operating system. And that is what Awiros is. Awiros' pitch is that typically computer vision's deployments are limited by point solutions, one problem solving one type of use case for one customer on one type of infra, which doesn't scale. None of the computer vision companies other than Awiros have more than 1% of market share in their area of interest. Very commonly, we see that cameras in a factory or in a warehouse are supported in the numbers of tens or hundreds, but going beyond thousands or even tens of thousands is something that has not been possible with pre-Awiros days. And many projects suffer from a low return on investment. So these are some of the challenges that come typically when we have discrete, non-mature solutions serving customer needs. On the other hand, Awiros is a platform which connects, like a fabric, all the underlying infra into a distributed middleware kind of software layer, where cameras can be phones, drones, CCTV cameras, mobile phones, robotic arms, being processed on Edge, Intel, NVIDIA, Qualcomm, any different type of or diverse set of hardware. Awiros runs as a layer on top of all these diverse underlying infrastructure nodes and provides a unified layer to run and scale applications on that given infra so that customers can say, hey, if I'm a restaurant owner, start running a footfall counting app on all my gates in the restaurants. Start running a cleanliness monitoring app in my kitchen. Start running a table productivity app across the cameras looking at my eating area. So diverse use cases supported on diverse infra in a distributed way is something that Awiros enables. And we have been the largest platform in India by far across multiple industries. We'll come to those details because our technology platform is enabling large scale application orchestration. So what Awiros offers is a marketplace of more than 120 agentic apps which solve one or more computer vision problems for our customers. So whenever we think of any automation through computer vision, let us say interpreting images for warehousing images, videos for facial recognition for safety purposes, managing traffic, managing quality in a factory or an aerospace unit, uh, uh, tracking parcels in a warehouse, each of these use case which provides a business outcome is an app, and customers can choose one or more app to be run in a scalable way on the given infrastructure. Today on Awiros, average customer subscribe to 15 apps per deployment, which used to be 3 apps in 2018. So we have done the largest scaling, both in terms of number of cameras supported as well as number of apps supported per customer by far in this industry. Some of the largest Fortune 500 companies are our customers. I'll come to those details as well. So we have proven market leadership in India, where some of the largest smart city and safe city deployments are being done by us, including the entire Delhi city and entire Bangalore city, 15 cities in total. At least 15 applications per customer are being used on an average, and we have done built our layer as a hardware agnostic platform which supports applications on Intel, NVIDIA, Qualcomm, AMD, and so on without having to reinvent the wheel every single time. So this is one of the key use cases and value adds of Awiros, where large scale computer vision use cases can power customer needs. The examples are as follows. We are the first and the largest company to deploy computer vision based inspection for aerospace engines. So Pratt & Whitney is our customer. We have deployed our platform for more than 60 train stations now across India. All 33 international airports across India are integrated into Awiros for customs use cases. We have in total about 80,000 concurrent cameras being processed under Awiros with 15 cities, 33 international airports, and several large enterprise customers, as you can see on your screen. This is an example use case of what we do for aerospace inspection. So here, a mobile phone view, basically a mobile stream. Any user can use a mobile phone to stream video, and on the ground, our AI platform powers quality inspection so that the time it used to take for a field inspector to get to know about the configuration of the aircraft engine, it reduces from 1.5 days or nearly 2 days to 10-15 minutes. So earlier it used to be an Excel and a kind of a paper checklist to scan the aircraft engine. Now using our AI, the entire journey is done in minutes. Currently, 1,000+ engines are being scanned by Awiros through Pratt & Whitney across, I would say, 22 major airlines across the world, including Indigo in India and Hawaiian.
Mr. Vikram, just a prompt, you're close to 2 minutes.
Sure, thank you. So this is one use case that we have done, and now we are expanding the same use case for other aerospace manufacturing setups. Another example is our deployment for Delhi Airport. Traffic heading into and out of Delhi Airport is being processed again on Awiros platform. Also, management and availability of baggage trolleys inside the airport for operational purposes being done by Awiros, where Awiros' system tells operators which are the 50 nearest trolleys that they can bring to fulfill the need of baggage trolleys, and let's say where a flight is coming at from Dubai with 400 passengers, so that right number of trolleys are available at any point in time. There are several such use cases. So in total, about 13 use cases are being delivered to Delhi Airport as we speak on Awiros platform. As a team, we are a 90 people team across the globe, primarily based in Delhi and Gurgaon, or Delhi and Bangalore. Myself, I'm the founder and CEO. I come from a research background. I did my PhD from Carnegie Mellon, and my PhD thesis has extended into what Awiros today is. And Prateek, Varun, Vikas, Neeraj are our leadership players. Prat is also our consultant and head of business for aerospace industry, who was the ex CEO of Boeing India and GE. In terms of where we are as a company, we raised Series A of $7 million in 2022. Last year, we did about more than 32 crores of revenue. This year, we are targeting about $10 million of revenue in FY26. So I think with that, I'll take a pause, and we are, I think, well in time. I'll be happy to take questions. There is much more detail we can go in, but given the time, I think this was a quick intro of Awiros.
Yes, right. Thank you for the presentation, Mr. Vikram. That was greatly presented. Jurors, we are open for the Q&A. Any of the jurors would like to go first? Professor Ashutosh?
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
I lost the connection there. Okay, yeah. So yeah, thanks a lot for the presentation. So I was just wondering, like, in your system, I mean, how is it different from like the agentic platforms that are being deployed nowadays? And they are also doing something similar, right? Like, and in fact, they are more generic, like it goes beyond vision as well, right? So
absolutely. Professor, your question is absolutely correct. So there are 3 or 4 key factors where Awiros is different from. One is most agentic platforms today. So we have been doing this for several years. Actually, Awiros' vision for apps which provide business outcome was, or you can like say that it was before its time, which is now being called agentic. But fundamentally, what Awiros works on is real-time streaming data for physical world. Doing agentic work on internet or kind of stored data is one dimension, which is of course today's AI platforms empower. But doing it on physical data coming from real world in streaming form. So video is 25 frames per second. Each camera throws 4 megabits per second stream. So doing it for hundreds and thousands of cameras is a different ballgame altogether. So we do about 2.5 million inferences per second, which is not something that all agentic platforms are built to do. So efficiency and multi-use uh, uh, AI models. Basically, we is something that we differentiate ourselves from. So scale is a critical factor.
So what kind of models do you use? Like these are like VLM kind of models, or you also use like some traditional sort of models, which
Absolutely.
I
So
mean, which might give you more
exactly.
faster inference time, possibly.
Absolutely. When I showed our app marketplace, so each app has a few models embedded into it. So which could be, it typically starts from a basic detection model, so which is a YOLO like detection model, but traditional, or we can say now traditional deep learning models. So that we know what kind of an VLM inference we want to do. So to achieve efficiency for real time, a hybrid approach is the best. But our apps are not limited to just using one type of models. Models can be purely deep learning based, can be a combination of deep learning and VLMs, or purely VLMs. So we have all 3 different types of applications across our customers.
Okay. And I mean, how do you sort of adapt your models to some new settings which may not have been ever seen in the sort of, I mean, more in the training data. So more like, I mean, how good is your generalization performance? Have you sort of benchmarked it on some of the tasks or something on that sort? Like how better is it like compared to like your competitors? for example, right?
There are, I think I'll not comment on competitor right now, but what we can say is because all our deployments are working in tight integration with the real world or real deployments of the end customers. So we do have to fine tune most of our models for the specific use cases. So if we were to do quality inspection for a factory, or we have to do box counting in a warehouse, their off-the-shelf models fail miserably in performing up to the mark. So we actually, I did not cover in our presentation today, but on the left side of this presentation, you see we have a development pipeline where once our system is deployed on-prem for the customer, we ingest data, use that data to fine-tune the model further. So there is always a 2 to 3 week timeline where we use the data on the field to fine-tune the models that are deployed. And then that gets deployed as an application package, which then works well for the customer use cases. Off-the-shelf
So,
pre-trained models are not suitable for the type of real-world use cases that we work on.
yeah. So that means like if I wanted to deploy your system or your let's say your OS architecture to my setting, let's say I have some factory which is developing some kind of products which may not have been seen by a model. So the deployment time would be a bit larger because you will have to first collect data, get that annotated, and all those. I mean, the entire pipeline has to be followed, right? And
In general, you're absolutely right, sir. If it's a completely new use case, then it takes time. Obviously, there is no magic pill that solves the problem. But when we are working with enterprise use cases, we commit that it is going to be a 3 to 4 weeks kind of a commissioning timeline or training timeline. But out
Okay.
of our 120 apps, nearly 70% apps are what we call have high cross environmental readiness because they've been trained on so much of data that for every new customer they're already ready. So for example, industrial safety
Yeah.
use case, we don't have to
So,
retrain.
yeah, so this actually just a sort of a point which came in my mind. Like recently, I mean, Meta has released those glasses, right? Like
Exactly.
they're pretty. I mean, at least I've not used it, but I've heard from people they're pretty good. That they do really good. They have pretty good vision capabilities, and they generalize pretty well across
Absolutely.
different environments, right? So and those are kind of very lightweight and I mean it's sort of easy to carry.
Yes.
So how do you compare with that kind of technology? I mean your technology with your with that kind of technology?
Sir, this is a great question again. And this is something that we do in our tech pipeline as well. So these glasses or any source of video is just a sensor for us. We do serve our customers with robotic arm-based cameras, even industrial glasses, which can take video feed. So even for Meta glasses, they are not processing on the glass. It is streaming to your phone, and phone is actually sending the data back to the Meta cloud. Exactly the same way Awiros does, but for specialized use cases. Meta will fail in helping a factory worker follow the steps that I showed to you in the first slide. So, like the Meta glasses will not be able to tell, okay, the next step that you should do is to actually fit a headlight and tighten the three screws on the right hand side. So that is where our value add comes into play.
Okay. So you're saying that your system is also sort of integrated with some kind of knowledge base or something of that sort, where it can also recommend some sort of intelligent
It has to.
decisions.
Exactly. So
Okay.
it is basically, so there is always, so we started with the basic rule-based knowledge base where if this happens, then this action should be done. And now it is, we have built a knowledge base where you can actually put a kind of a prompt saying, I want this output. I want the basically the field engineer to do these 10 steps and inform him if he's missing on any one of them. So it has become agentic in that knowledge base in the modern AI sense. The platform enables scalable deployment of applications. That is what our value add is. No other, including Meta or OpenAI or any large platform, is able to work with the physical world, industrial physical world, as well as we are able to, because it is built for enterprise large scale deployments compared to consumer centric use cases. We will not be able to guide a customer on weather, for example, because this is not something that we do. But Meta Glass is good.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Professor Raju, your question. Mr. Vikram has a timing is limited, so we'll request to have
Sure.
a short and crisp answer.
Sure.
Yeah, and probably I'll have just one question there.
Yes,
So,
sir.
given that, usually in the visual feed, there is a lot of privacy and other aspects in there. So, I was just
Absolutely.
wondering, how are you dealing if you're doing?
Yeah, so privacy is absolutely critical. 90% of our deployments are on-prem, where the video feed doesn't go to the cloud at all. So we have built distributed infra on customers' data, on customers' infrastructure, on customer data centers. So this is the first way where we ensure that the privacy is maintained. Only for the right users on-prem the video is processed, and we have several other aspects of GDPR compliance. For example, we can blur out personally identified information in all the video feed at source itself. So depending on the customer needs, the degree of privacy can be enabled. But on-prem deployment is
Thank
the
you.
best way
Got it.
of ensuring that privacy.
Yeah, so I'm done.
Mr. Naveen, your question, sir.
No, I'm good.
Bhupesh, sir.
Yeah, Vikram, congratulations. I think you hit the nail, like solving this problem of computer vision on a scale is really a difficult challenge, right?
Yes, sir.
Just doing it on a couple of camera is much easier. And I really find it very interesting and
Thank you, sir.
applauding that yes, you have built the marketplace, which is something pretty unique, wonderful, right? So from where you see the competition coming
Sir, there
in
is
terms of like a 20 years span in terms of sustainability?
Sure, sir. Sir, we do compete with many different types of players, sir. The single biggest competition comes in is what we call from point solution serving small use cases for enterprise customers. So a company who specializes in, let's say, only inspection problem, or a company who specializes in only traffic management for a city. So we do face some problem there, but as a company, we want to enable all these partners as complementary players rather than competition. So one of our staunchest competitors apps, or actually three competitors now, is on our marketplace because as a consortium, because we cannot be best at all computer vision problems, neither can one player.
Mm.
So the idea is the marketplace is an enabler where all contributors of AI use cases can deliver value to the customers without having to reinvent the wheel. So today's
But
competitors
no,
potentially
I
will
got
become
it.
our partners.
But I think this branding of OS is overkill, right? You're a researcher, right? You should
Sir,
not be really get lured by this OS kind of branding, which can be misleading, right? Because
I
once
do
you started
understand.
the presentation, I was thinking something different, right?
Understood. Okay. No, it
And this
is
is
an OS because it is
leave it to the branding guy, right? Be
sure.
researcher at core, right? Which will take
Understood.
you a long way.
Understood.
Don't
No
give a
problem.
misleading impression. But applaud
It
to
is a
you, your
middleware.
team.
More technically, it
Wonderful
is a
work.
middleware rather than a OS.
Yeah,
But
wonderful work.
yes, sir.
Wonderful work.
Okay.
Keep
Thank
it
you,
up.
sir.
Yeah.
So can I just ask a very quick
Please.
question?
Please,
Yes,
please,
Professor
please.
Ashutosh, please.
Yeah, so in your this, I mean, you're calling it a marketplace, right? So how easy would it be for any new customer to integrate their existing solution into your setup, basically, right? I mean, if I have my own, I suppose I have my own models which were trained for my setting, and I want to integrate, and I want more capabilities. I want to integrate into your system. How easy is it for them? Like, I mean, can
If
they
your
just do
model,
some sort of plug and
yeah,
play kind of thing, or?
exactly. Sir, we have an SDK in which you just have to kind of write couple of wrappers on what the input says and what are the output classes. And in if you might kind of have little more experience, it can be a matter of hours. But at the worst case scenario, it will be 3 to 4 days. So the model that you have will can start running on tens of thousands of cameras with Awiros platform without you having to lift your finger. That's the beauty
So,
of Awiros.
so you need some sort of some technical expert to do this, right? I mean, a normal IT guys won't be able
No.
to.
Of course, we need at least somebody who can write Python interfaces. That's the level, or who knows a bit of model input and output. It's not for somebody who can just. It's not just a configuration. It needs
Okay.
programming input. So our SDK needs to be understood by the person who is doing it. But it is for a person like maybe an undergrad with a 6 months experience. It will be a 2 day job.
Yeah. So just a suggestion there. I mean, given that nowadays you have really good coding LLMs, right? Can you sort of can you integrate this sort of coding LLM into your system, which will just take an existing code base from a new customer and just try to integrate it into yours? And I'm sure this will be much faster. And once this is done, a human could just cross check it, and then it should take few hours actually instead of few days.
You're absolutely right. It is possible, sir. It is totally possible. This is something that is in our pipeline. Right now, we are focusing on. So this is one end where we have already done quite well. From weeks to months, we have already cut it down to days. Next version will definitely be from days to hours, with especially generative AI code. And so we already have Sandbox, which actually generates 90% of the code for you. So even pre-Gen AI, we could do that. You just need to say like what your model architecture is, what framework you want to plug it in, and it actually does the job for you. So that is already quite a short journey. However, building a Gen AI platform is something that is in the pipeline. It's definitely there. It is probably in the next release in next 3 months or so. It will be one of the features. Actually, we have done a drag and drop facility as well, where you can just drag and drop into a pipeline. That okay, instead of this journey, plug my model here and done. It will probably be minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vikram and the team Awiros. Thanks for presenting. You did well
Thank you,
with the
sir.
presentation as well as greatly answered the Q&A of all of the jurors. We wish you the best with your innovation.
Thank you, sir. Looking
Best
forward
of
to.
luck, team Awiros, with the results.
Thank you.
Jurors will request to score for team Awiros